Ciao ragazzi, this is Katie Portanova, and you're listening to Florence and Me. I'm a lover of stories and all things Italian, and I'm going to bring you all that in this podcast. My intention is to inspire you to step out of your comfort zone and explore life and travel the world. Join me as I tell you my story and many others about Italy and my love, Florence. Andiamo! Ciao ragazzi! It's Kate. I'm back again. I have another amazing story to tell you. The past few months, I've been writing blog posts and also coming on the podcast and talking about them for those of people that don't like to read, like my husband. I know everyone likes to learn information differently, so I thought I'd talk about this curiosity of Florence today. And this one is one of the ones that I first found out about when I first visited Florence about 20 years ago. I always saw the sign "Per non dormire" on the side of this palazzo in Via Porta Rossa, and I was always curious about it, but I never really found out about it until probably 10 years later than that, when I was living in Florence. So "Per non dormire" means thanks for staying awake, is the motto of the family Bartolini. The Bartolini family created wealth on this phrase. So the story goes is a member of the Bartolini family, they were wool merchants. This member traveled to Venice with other members of the Wool Guild to check on a series of projects already in progress. And during a dinner one night with the Venetian merchants and other wool merchants, Bartolini successfully drugged his friends' drinks with opium. And one by one, they fell fast asleep. Eventually, Bartolini was left alone with the Venetian merchants, in which he closed a number of contracts. Smart, no? Once he got back to Florence, the family became one of the richest families in the whole city. So when you go to Via Porta Rossa, which is on your way from Piazza Repubblica, Piazza Repubblica, it's over there. I'm trying to think of the others, so the parallel street, but it goes straight to Via Tornabuoni, which is the richest street of Florence with Prada, Gucci, Burberry, like all the high-end brands. You'll see when you're facing Via Tornabuoni, I believe Palazzo Bartolini is to your left, and you look up in one of the windows. Right below one of the windows, it has carved in the side of that window, of the side of the building, "Per non dormire," and on either side of that motto is poppies tied in bunches of three. Yeah. So in the 15th century, this is when this family created their abundance of wealth and built that palazzo, where it stands today. So it's very funny because the other merchants that came with him that day were, I believe, from Florence, and he basically just drugged them and just basically stole all of the contracts and became one of the richest families in Florence. So they built the palazzo overlooking Piazza Santa Trinita, which is the piazza that's in Via Tornabuoni along Piazza Santa Trinita is right before you get to the Arno River. So they wanted to thank those merchants, and they carved these poppies and the phrase "Per non dormire," thanks to those, it was possible for the Bartolini family to become wealthy. Grazie. I love this story. And the fact that like these stories like haven't died yet, and that's why I want to keep talking about them. I've bought another book by this author, Franco Cilegno. I can't even say his last name. Franco. and I enjoy like learning about these stories because there's so many things, and I've said this before on the podcast, that you don't have to go into a museum to really learn about the culture and learn about the people of Florence. They're all over the streets of Florence. And in the next episode, I'm going to tell you about another very, very funny story that you can still see to this day on the side of the Duomo. I'll leave it at that. Quick episode today. So thanks for joining me. Remember, my Florence retreat is up and running. Waitlist is on the website. Go to Italian travel retreats. Scroll down just a bit. You'll see a box. It says, interested in joining me in Florence, summer 2025. That's where you put your email. That's where you get the first information about all the details coming out slowly but surely for our Florence retreat 2025. I'm hoping July 2025, which will be fabulous. Allora, buongiorno, buonasera, buonanotte, wherever you are, and I will see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao, guys. Ciao. I am beyond grateful for you listening to my podcast right now. I am so excited to share my journey of living abroad and all of my stories of Florence and Italy and all the places in between that I've visited. If this has reached you in any way and you would like to continue, please subscribe now. Also, go check out my website, trulyitaly.tours, for all my travel experiences. Ci si vede. Ciao.